I'm in the press room at LCS, joined by Meteos to discuss their loss against TSM today, 3-1. You guys took one game off them. How does that feel, Meteos?
Losing never feels good. It's a lot more fun to win. We're not in the press room.
Okay.
That's a good meme.
Yeah.
But the games are pretty sad for us because it feels like we really just messed up our 1v2 every game and kept getting me and balls super behind, and it made it really hard to do anything. So it's kind of just like when your jungler and top laner are behind, there are your playmakers, it's your TP and your jungle ganks. So it was really painful, especially the third and fourth game. So it wasn't like the most satisfying series for us, but I mean, I think going into it, TSM was better, so they deserved to win. I just kind of wish it was closer.
Yeah, I mean, how much pressure did you have before the match started, placed on you because so many people were predicting TSM to take it? You obviously go in there, you kind of feel like the underdog. Oftentimes, I think you guys are considered like the team to win. How much of that played a factor today?
I don't think the pressure of not being favored really mattered too much because we played at Worlds, so we're unfavored and stuff like that. And even when you lose, it's kind of whatever. It doesn't change your mentality when you're in the game. You're just like playing your best, and if anything, it makes it easier because when you're favored and shit starts going bad, you like start tilting because you're like, oh, why is this happening? We're supposed to win. So I mean, I don't think it really affected our nerves too much. I think it's all right.
I mean, what do you think was the issue? Was it like a pick and ban issue, or are they just outplaying you all the time? Like, what really do you think contributed to the loss?
I think, like I said, it was just our 2v1s going awful. In a lot of the games, Gragas was getting prioritized over Sejuani. And in this series, Sejuani won every game and Gragas lost every game. And so it would look weird to someone being like, why would they pick Gragas when he's losing every game? But it's just one of those things where in standard lanes, Gragas is a lot better than Sejuani because you can gank everyone. But every single game was a 2v1. And it just, we didn't do it correctly. I don't really know what it was. We'd have to go back and watch it afterwards. But we were just basically getting behind every single time.
Have you guys had much of a chance to talk about that as a team and how things went down? Or, I mean, what have the, because we are actually several hours out from the loss, like, what have the last couple hours been like for you guys?
The last couple of hours were okay. We sort of talked about things. We were just like, wow, that sucks, that sort of deal. We'd have to wait to see the VODs to go into it with more depth, seeing exactly what was going wrong, whether what we could be doing better basically as a team in that situation if it's to come up again. But we weren't super down after the loss. We met with fans after the game, and that usually cheers everyone up. And then we just went out for dinner, and we've basically been chilling now, waiting for our flight to New York for like 6 hours. So
Where are you guys going to New York?
we're going to New York for a premiere of a movie we're in, and I think we're having a fan meet there too. So
Where can people find out about the fan meet?
I retweeted something about it, so you can go on my Twitter or Cloud9's Twitter.
Or, like, just whatever I retweeted, that thing that Jack told me to retweet.
Exactly.
For you, I think you guys are in a kind of a weird situation, right? Because you guys got second in the split in the playoffs. You did really well despite like a frustrating start, and yet I think there will be so much conversation in the scene about is like C9. Do they need to make a change? Like, are they struggling? Like, how do you take your guys' performance this split? Because it's got to feel kind of strange to be like, hey, we got second, and we lost to TSM, who's been like on a crazy streak, and yet everybody thinks that that we're struggling.
It's kind of weird because we've been doing so well in the past, and now we're not doing as well. So it's easier for people to say, "Oh yeah, Cloud9 is getting so much worse." But I think it's kind of an unrealistic expectation to say someone will be first forever because it's really hard to say first when you have so many people spending all their time trying to beat you, and just taking what you're doing and trying to improve on it. So obviously we can't stay at the top forever. Second place is still decent, but I think that there are a lot of things we need to work on as a team. I don't think we have that same team cohesion that we used to, just through whatever. I don't really know what's going on, but sometimes our calls aren't as clear as they were. They don't get followed as clearly. I know in our games today there was like a lot of chaos going on in the comms. Sometimes like everyone would be talking, which normally isn't what we do. So I mean there are like small things like that have sort of become an issue more lately than before, but I don't think it's something you can't work through. So obviously we're gonna focus on those things when we're practicing and just make sure our scrims are always really good because the past split our scrims weren't great practice because I mean normally scrims go a little different than LCS, but our scrims were going like a lot different than LCS. Like so it was really hard to get a good read on stuff. Stuff like Gragas looks way better in scrims where everyone's killing themselves. Like in a scrim, Sejuani versus Gragas, the Sejuani will like be AFK farming, and then the Gragas is 4 kills and comes out with like a 5-minute Cinder Hulk. So it's just one of those things where it's really hard to get reads on matchups and stuff during scrims, and I think it's something we can really improve on. So just stuff like that.
Kind of the final question is, TSM off to MSI now. You guys have a bit of a break. Do you think that the break will help you at all because you'll be able to sort of go back and try to fix this stuff?
Well, having a break is nice because it gives us a lot of time to work on stuff. It's hard to say if it's better than practicing because sometimes when you have a long break, it's easy to relax during it and not take the games as seriously, which is what I feel is one of our issues, just not taking our scrims as seriously as we should. But we're gonna do our best, and so hopefully get better.
Anything you want to say to your fans?
Well, sorry to disappoint the fans who want us to win today. We'll do better next split.
Thank you so much for the interview, Meteos. I know that you are about to go catch a flight, so it's really nice that I randomly bumped into you on the street and then we're able to do this interview. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of our coverage of all things LCS at gamespot.com/LOL.